A very good evening to you. Many thanks for joining us tonight on the broadcast. It's just a few minutes after United States President Donald Trump, the 47th president, was sworn in. And from the proceedings, Donald Trump wants to be remembered as a peacemaker and a unifier, restoring safety in America. And he has made quite a number of promises, including restoration of peace that will include sending back what he calls criminals who have invaded America back to their states, and also going back to the mining or drilling of oil in the coastal region, as it was banned by the former president. And he says Americans will now be able to have their cars of choices because they will be having plenty of oil in the country. There is so much that has been promised that we will keep you updated on it. But first, let's get the highlights. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump officially sworn in today for a second term as the 47th President of the United States. I am not seeking popularity. President Ruto defends himself, telling off his critics for politicizing his developmental tours to the Western region. Tourism CS Rebecca Miano bids farewell to 12 students from Kenyatta University, Strathmore University, and Boma College heading to the Future Leaders Tourism Competition in Dubai. And Kilifi County Referral Hospital performs its first advanced laparoscopic surgery, bringing hope for quicker recoveries and reduced complications for patients.
This is KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Right, and our sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okelo. Remember, this broadcast is also coming to you live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya, and you can send us your feedback. Engage with us on X at KUTV_Kenya, at Anyango Sylvia KE. We begin. Now, things are not looking good for Kenya after the inauguration of the 47th President of the United States. Kenyan President William Ruto delayed to give flowers to Donald Trump in his victory. Ruto had become a strong supporter of President Joe Biden's administration, with his strong pragmatic connections with the United States. Agreement on global concerns such as counterterrorism as a Trump presidency sets in. This may compel Kenyan President Ruto to release his country's regional and global priorities.
Things are not looking good for Kenya with the inauguration of the 47th U.S. President Donald Trump. Kenyan President William Ruto delayed to give his flowers to Donald Trump on his victory in the United States presidential election. Ruto had become a strong supporter of President Joe Biden's administration, with a strong pragmatic connection with the United States having been marked by security cooperation, economic investments, and agreement on global concerns such as counterterrorism. A Trump presidency, on the other hand, may compel Kenya's president to reassess his country's regional and global priorities. Kenya's military presence and intelligence skills have supported U.S. efforts to combat regional threats such as Al-Shabaab. This connection has also grown as a result of African Growth and Opportunity Act (AGOA) and the Prosper Africa project, which have strengthened economic ties and helped Kenya achieve middle-income status. As Donald Trump makes a return to the U.S. presidency, the impact will most likely be felt around the world, especially in Kenya, where U.S. connections have been important since independence in 1963. Kenya may strengthen ties with other nations, particularly the European Union, whose Africa development and climate programs are well linked with Kenya's interest. Kenya's Western-oriented foreign policies reflect strategic decisions that have resulted in gains for commerce, aid, and defense. The United States regards Kenya as an important East African ally, notably in counter-terrorism activities in the Horn of Africa. With a more transitional foreign policy approach, the Trump administration might change the relationship between the United States and Kenya. This volatility may prompt President Ruto to seek a caution or a diverse foreign strategy. Trump's emphasis on diminishing multilateral cooperation may have an influence on existing projects such as PEPFAR and counter-terrorism funding. A transition away from the United States would require cautious management. The lengthy US-Kenya partnership has been a cornerstone of Kenya's foreign policy, and Dr. Ruto would be careful not to fully alienate Washington. If US influence in Kenya diminishes, East Africa may become more vulnerable to competing outsider interests. Anyango, KUTV.
And back here in the country, President William Ruto has led a ceremony of awarding bonuses to sugarcane farmers in Mumias in Kakamega County. The event was, however, filled with politics as Mumias East Member of Parliament Peter Salasia criticized the government project, claiming that President William Ruto needed to be told the truth. And as Blue Smile Hassan reports, Salasia firmly affirmed that Ruto's projects are not currently working in the country. Listen in.
Sugarcane farmers from Mumias Sugar Company received bonuses for the first time in a ceremony led by President William Ruto held in Kakamega today. President Ruto continued his Western Kenya tour, which began in Bungoma on Sunday, accompanied by various leaders, including Deputy President Kithure Kindiki. President Ruto praised his accomplishments in the sugar sector, which he says is a milestone.
Hii kampuni lazima iendelee kuwa mali ya watu wa Kakamega. Na niliwaambia nitaweka usimamizi wa sawasawa. Leo mimi nakuja hapa kuambia hivi. Maneno ya deni ambayo ilikuwa imehangaisha sekta hii kwa miaka 60, bilioni 117. Hiyo deni baraza la mawaziri ikiungana na bunge, hiyo deni tumeifutilia mbali.
Today's ceremony, like many government events, was filled with politics. Mumias East MP Peter Salasia steered the political fire when he claimed that President Ruto was not properly informed on the state of projects, and even asked President Ruto to appoint him as his advisor.
Nataka Bwana Rais unichukue mimi nikuwe personal advisor wako, unilipe. Kwa sababu Bwana Rais, hao watu wako wakuambiangi ukweli. Wanakuambia saa inafanya kazi na ifanyi kazi. Wanakuambia new model inafanya kazi na ifanyi kazi.
President Ruto, however, disregarded Salasia's comments, saying that he was not after popularity.
Kuna wengine hapa wananiambia ati niendelee kupigiwa makofi. Mimi sihitaji makofi. Sijui kama tunaelewana. Kuna kazi nyingine itafanyika bila makofi. Si ndio? Nyinyi ambaye mnatafuta makofi, endeleeni kutafuta makofi.
Kakamega Senator Boni Halwale also raised questions on the new alliance between ANC and UDA.
I therefore want clarity on the way we are going to partner in the politics of Kenya. If there is clarity with the way we are doing politics as government with the leadership from Nyanza and the leadership from Mount Kenya and elsewhere, we want clarity on how we are doing politics with the Luo community, because we are an 8 million strong people who cannot be taken for granted.
President Ruto responded humorously, saying that Halwale, as a member of the ruling party, should be aware of the answers to his questions.
Wewe Boni, hata sijui nitakuambia nini. Sasa wewe ndio kiongozi wa UDA. Alafu unakuja hapa unajaribu kuuliza maswali. Sasa wewe ndio utauliza ama wananchi watauliza? You are supposed to know. Wewe acha hizo. Ama namna gani? Si ndio, si huyu ni kiongozi. Sasa chief whip ya serikali Kenya mzima ndio huyu. Anatembea na jike alafu sasa
President Ruto continued to emphasize for the enrollment in the new health insurance SHA, promising to advance infrastructural projects in the region. He also stated that he is ready to make tough decisions that will propel Kenya forward. Blue Ismail Hassan, KUTV.
Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano has today flagged off 12 students from Kenyatta University, Strathmore University and Boma International College who are heading to Dubai to represent Kenya in the 2025 Future Leaders Challenge Global Tourism Competition. The event was also attended by heads of universities, heads of participating universities, including Kenyatta University Deputy Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi.
12 students from Kenyatta University, Strathmore University and Boma International College were today flagged off to Dubai for the 2025 Future Leaders Challenge Global Tourism Competition. The event held at the KICC was led by the Tourism Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano. The heads of the participating universities also attended the event, led by the Kenyatta University Vice Chancellor Professor Washeke Wanjohi. The Future Leaders Competition is set to begin on 21st January and will conclude on 23rd in Dubai. Participants will also be attending workshops and get networking opportunities, which shall provide them with first-hand industry insights. Participants from Kenyatta University's Global Tourism Resilience and Crisis Management Center, who won the prestigious Hall of Fame Resilience Awards last year, among the participants to watch in the 2025 Future Leaders Challenge. Participants from Boma International College and Strathmore University also hope to emerge victorious in the competition, which was previously won by Preston University from South Africa. Blue Ismail Hassan, KUTV.
Now, in a groundbreaking milestone for healthcare in Kilifi County, the County Referral Hospital has successfully performed its first ever laparoscopic surgical operations. This innovative medical procedure marks the dawn of new era in surgical technology, bringing hope for quicker recoveries and reduced complications for patients. In a historic stride towards advancing healthcare in Kilifi County, the County Referral Hospital has successfully conducted its first laparoscopic surgical procedures. Laparoscopy, also known as keyhole surgery, is a minimally invasive technique that uses small incisions and specialized instruments, including laparoscope equipped with a camera, to perform surgical operations. The surgeries, which marked the hospital's inaugural use of this cutting-edge technology, were performed on 3 patients under the leadership of Dr. Adrian Park from Johns Hopkins University in the United States. Dr. Park highlighted the numerous benefits of laparoscopy, including faster recovery times and minimal complications.
An opportunity to bring a type of technology, a type of surgery that allows patients to recover more quickly, with fewer complications, to look after their family, to go back to work, to benefit in ways that people in other parts of the world have been benefiting. And now it's time for this technology, this technique, this expertise to be present to serve the good people of this county. And with me today are the surgeons who are going to be leading this effort.
Local surgeons were also trained in the technique, and plans are underway to extend this advanced medical capability to 3 other hospitals in the county: Malindi, Mariakani, and Marafa.
Hii training ambayo inaendelea ya hawa madaktari wa upasuaji ambao wanatumia upasuaji mbinu ya ile ambao haina operation ya kupasua, ni kutumia instruments ili kuhakikisha kwamba yule mgonjwa anafanyiwa upasuaji kwa njia fupi zaidi na pia haina maumivu na pia anaweza kupona haraka zaidi. Hii inaitwa laparoscopic surgery, na tuko madaktari ambao tumewatrain kule Coast General Hospital, na pia timu ya kutoka Coast General Hospital iko na sisi hapa leo kuhakikisha kwamba wana follow up hawa ambao wameenda hiyo training na pia wanafanya upasuaji hivi leo hapa.
This groundbreaking initiative promises to transform healthcare delivery in Kilifi County, reducing the need for open surgeries and ensuring that residents can access advanced medical procedures closer to home.
Ambia katika supplementary budget tutaweka mashini 3 tununue. Kwa sababu tuko tayari madaktari sasa wamefundishwa hii. Ama daktari vijana mnaona hapa wameshafundishwa na ni wakilifu wamerudi sasa.
Anyango, Sylvia, KUTV. Now that story was produced by very own Brenda Nyongesa. We are taking a very short break on the broadcast tonight. Stay with us.
Baada ya kutafuta kazi, tunaweza kuanzisha miradi yetu ambayo ingetusaidia kubadilisha maisha ya wazazi wetu.
Kwa vijana wenzangu, wengi wale hawana kazi, lakini ikiwa sisi wenyewe tutajiamini, tunaweza kujiajiri wenyewe.
Afrika kwa kweli tuna mahitaji ambayo ukiyasuluhisha unaweza kuathiri watu kwenye bara hili.
Bila uoga, watu huwa na uzalishaji zaidi, wanajawa na ujasiri, wanakuwa wabunifu na wanakuwa wenye maarifa.
Niliamua kuacha kazi. Hata kama sitafanikiwa, nitakuwa nimejaribu, nitakuwa najua haiwezekani.
Hakuna kitu cha ajabu hapa. Kila anayepata ufanisi hufanya kazi usiku na mchana.
Kitu kitakusukuma na kuwezesha kupata maarifa ambayo hukuwa nayo.
Tunajaribu kutengeneza kitu kitakachopita mipaka ya nchi hii.
Ikiwa unataka kubadilisha ulimwengu, anza na nyumbani.
Access to knowledge, solution to unanswered questions.
Guidelines to pursuing your rights and repossessing your property, intellectual or material.
This and more, only on Law Matters.
You are watching KUTV Primetime News with Anyango, Sylvia.
Welcome back. Remember to keep engaging with us on our socials. That is on X at KUTV_Kenya, and also we are live on YouTube at KUTV News Kenya. Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has lauded industries and manufacturing sectors as a means to lead Kenya's transformation from a third world country to a first world country. Kindiki, who spoke during the handing over of first ever bonus to sugarcane farmers in Mumias, Kakamega County, took the opportunity to popularize the Kenya Kwanza's investment in livestock and agriculture, mining and blue economy, fisheries, universal health coverage, and the housing project. Kindiki noted that Kenya's economy is on the rising trajectory, citing the stability of the Kenyan shillings against the dollar.
Juu ya wakulima kupata bonus, mambo ya viwanda na kutengeneza bidhaa vya viwanda, manufacturing and industry, is one of the engines that will take our country from the third world to the first world. You have enabled the macroeconomic situation in Kenya to stabilize. The interest rates are getting lower and lower. The prices of essential foodstuffs are stabilizing. The currency of Kenya is getting strong. And these things, although they do not immediately translate to tangibles, they are the macroeconomic infrastructure that underpins the next phase of our development, which is improving incomes at household level, like what we are having here today.
We are moving back to news across our borders, where after President Joe Biden announced a ban on oil and gas drilling, most of the U.S. coastline I'll take that back. After President Joe Biden announced a ban on oil and gas drilling of most of the U.S. coastline, President-elect Donald Trump quickly vowed to reverse it after he takes office. But there is one section of the California coast that has gained more permanent protection. Genia Dalot reports.
Pat Nugent has been diving these waters off the California coast for nearly 40 years.
We've got some of the unique sea life. We've got nudibranchs. We've got large diversity of fish. We've got sea lions in the area. We've got sea otters. We've got harbor seals. We have octopus.
Nearly 12,000 square kilometers of California ocean and coastline are part of the newly designated Chumash Heritage National Marine Sanctuary, the first to be co-stewarded with indigenous people. Violet Sagewalker chairs the Northern Chumash Tribal Council. She says it is a place of deep historical and cultural significance.
So we believe that all people come from these islands here off of the coast of California, and that our people originated from those islands, and that when our people leave this world, they leave through the setting sun and the Western Gate, which is Point Conception. That story has some roots in history, and it has roots in science, and the science says, you know, that this is where the mixing of northern and southern waters and western waters, all these animals come here, and it's a sacred place.
The sanctuary shields the area from oil and gas production, as well as new construction. It neighbors the Diablo Canyon power plant, California's only operating nuclear power plant.
After 9/11, they actually created a mile barrier around the plant where there's no boat traffic other than the scientific divers that are working there. But that whole coastline from Avila Beach to Morro Bay is just spectacular.
Officials with the local Morro Bay Fishing Organization oppose the new sanctuary. They say California waters are already overregulated and are concerned about how the Chumash will manage access.
We keep hearing that the sanctuary and the tribes are going to co-manage this sanctuary. We don't know exactly what that means, but we do know that the Chumash want their special little areas off limits to all fishing, just them. They'll be able to fish in these areas.
Walker denies there will be Chumash-only fishing areas.
People have been living with national marine sanctuaries all around them for like 50 years now. So there's fishing, there's scuba diving, there's kayaking. Everything that everybody does has been done in a national marine sanctuary this whole time.
The Chumash Marine Sanctuary may eventually include water around offshore wind platforms once construction of those wind turbines is complete. Genia Dulo, VOA News, San Luis Obispo, California.
Now, following the swearing-in of President Donald Trump, there will be a swell of activities on the White House. Over about 6 hours, the belongings of outgoing President Joe Biden will be removed, and the residents will be made into home for the new chief executive. VOA's Dora McCord reports.
The moment Joe Biden leaves the Oval Office for the last time, likely in the morning on Inauguration Day, the White House staff jumps into action, rearranging the iconic office to the tastes of the incoming president.
They like the Oval Office to be outfitted, what rug, what drapes, what desk, etc. Because that's the kind of the Oval Office is the first area to be sort of prepared.
Photos show that Biden changed the rug and some chairs in 2017 after taking over from Donald Trump, who preceded him and will also succeed him.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
But it looks like the couches and curtains remain the same. The president's family lives on the second and third floors of the White House. Before moving day, the incoming president and first lady choose what furniture and art they want from the White House collection. By the time the new president arrives home on Inauguration Day, the furniture is in place and personal family photos are on the walls.
When the new president and first lady move in, they have their favorite shampoo in the shower. They have their toothbrush, toothpaste on the counter. They have their clothes hung up in the closet.
It all happens in under 6 hours, with about 100 White House staffers pitching in.
You don't have professional movers doing this. You have the resident staff doing it. So you have everybody pitching in, and these are not people that are trained as movers. They don't hire professional movers because of security concerns.
Many of the White House resident staff worked for Donald Trump during his first term, from January 2017 until January 2021.
So the staff really did like Donald Trump because he's used to having people around him serving him. And, you know, he would go around tipping staff in cash, you know, handing out 20s and 50s. And they appreciate that. They are not political. They just care about how the president treats them.
President Barack Obama hired Angela Reed to be the White House's chief usher in 2011. She oversaw moving day in January 2017, when the Obamas moved out and the Trumps moved in.
We have used the term organized chaos, but it really is a very coordinated operation. It's been rehearsed, you know, so many times that on that day, everyone is just chomping at the bits for go time.
There were some hiccups, like having to use only one elevator.
The elevator was not, you know, being used to its most optimum, so I took responsibility for for an hour of the time, sort of riding that by actually running the elevator. There was an instance of maybe one mattress for one specific room not being the right size.
But the main challenge is always the time constraint, and having just about 6 hours to get everything ready to welcome the new presidential family home to the White House for the first time. Dora McQuarr, VOA News, Washington.
Now, in sports tonight, Embu County has selected a team of 24 athletes to compete in the Upper Eastern County Cross-Country Championships on February 1st in Tharaka Nithi County. The Athletics Kenya Cross-Country Championships held at Betty Academy saw stellar performances. James Kariuki triumphed in the men's 10-kilometer race, clocking 28 while Mary Munamu claimed victory in the women's 8-kilometer race with a time of 23 minutes and 47 seconds. Junior races featured future stars as young as 5 years, leaders including Chief Officer Yusuf Kaburia pledged continued support for talent development. Minority leader Ngari Mbaka urged collaboration to overcome challenges facing young athletes.
Yeah, I have been also participating outside the Kenya, so like I've been doing the best ever. I'm trying to also siku moja nijipate kwa team Kenya. That's my target. Nimekuwa in 2 months ago, nimekimbia huko Shaina in Gwazu County, ndio inaitwa Zunyi International Half Marathon. Yeah, they made it, but though the condition was harsh, but nilingangana na nikakuwa mshindi. Yeah, I'm really focused.
Siku zuri vile. So I was happy to win this race after running 2 weeks ago. Nilikimbia Kisii, AK meeting cross country, and I was in top 10. Ndio nikajua mwili si mbaya. So we are focusing towards regional, and then from there to national in Eldoret, tunganganie Kenya team. Though despite next week kuna Betika, track and field, and I'm planning to run 10,000 meters.
Kuna talent development ya ukuzaji vipaji wa hali ya juu, kwa sababu kuna mashindano kuanzia wale watoto wadogo under 5 tumekuja under 10 na wote tumekimbia, kwa sababu jukumu letu kama department ni kuhakikisha tumeidentify vipaji mapema iwezekanavyo.
Tumeangalia na tumeidentify tukaona kwamba kuna gaps especially in sponsorship and also the management of the sport, na in that case tumeitisha policy kutoka kwa department yenye wanaendelea kutengeneza, ndio kuja pale assembly tuiangalie, tuipige mshasa, ndio tuone at least tuko na policy yenye inaweza manage our event, yenye ita connect pia the department, the government and also the outside sponsors.
Now that marks the end of our broadcast tonight. Thank you so much for choosing KUTV and for staying with us this far. Our sign language interpreter tonight is Sami Okelo and Anyango Sylvia. Have a good night.